Hey friends, the Advanced Knife Bro here. We're only a couple weeks, or actually a couple days away from the newest Stumplifter release. I found out like yesterday, Tuesday, that the knives are going to be going live next Tuesday, 21st. Basically, though, the crowds are cheering. Large, strong men have sent me videos of themselves crying about the choice of the new cover options, praising the Stumplifter and its strong pull. They're strong men. They like strong pulls. I guess the last run was popular enough to warrant another run. And, you know, it did take a while, though. But the Advanced Knife Bro channel is kind of on its own timeline. So those new to the channel, or those who missed out on the last one, might say, "Kind sir, what is the Stumplifter? The name is unusual. Is it for yard work? Do I need to own a tree service to buy one? Is there something seriously wrong with you?" Well, those are all wonderful questions, viewer. Let me try to address some of them. The Stumplifter is a cap lifter style knife with a knife blade on one end and a bottle opener on the other. One side, of course, for stabbing, the other side for lifting caps, or drunken. Now, the stump part is kind of a little joke, like you may or may not find funny. Funny, how about amusing? A lot of the videos I've done over the past 10 years or so feature a chopping stump, which is the shield on the side of the knife right here. Most beers come in cans now, and Michelob Ultra is a twist-off. Do I really need this? I guess not. Now, the blade of the Stumplifter is a stainless steel 154 cm and a hollow grind. Now, people love the hollow grinds. I love the hollow grind, and it cuts great. That's why it's my everyday carry. Then the bottle opener is also 154 cm like the blade. I don't open bottles every day, but works for that when you need to. The construction of the knife, though, is not pinned, but held together with screws like a modern knife. Now, I wouldn't call it easily disassemblable. I guess, though, in theory, you can take it apart if you're drunk enough. I have not taken mine apart. I do enjoy beer, but not that many beers. Now, this is the second run of the knife. I'd be very surprised if there was ever another. The first run of the knife took a couple weeks to sell out, and we put out about 600 knives. This run's going to be a little bit smaller, by about 150. People are not buying as many knives these days, it seems, and I want to try to balance the number that lets it hang around long enough to sell through, in a little bit, give people a chance. I figure most people who want one have one, although I know some people already have one and like the new cover options. I know I do. I kind of like rotate through the whole stock of Stumplifters. I have all 6 covers, and I do have a couple original prototypes I carry. This knife is a collaboration between myself and Blade HQ. It's the only place you'll ever be able to get this one. A while back, they asked me if I'd like to do a special edition knife or design one, so I did design this one. There have been several videos about it out there, so go check them out if you'd like to know a little more of the history, the design inspirations, and whatnot. But let's go over what we have new today. The questions, I am sure, is what is new here? Well, not much. Great Eastern Cutlery is a huge inspiration for me, and I like the idea of releasing them in different colors. Great Eastern Cutlery rarely ever repeats the run with the same cover configuration and blade configuration. It's kind of a fun way to collect, so I figured that's how this would be. We'd never duplicate the colors of the covers. So, yours is kind of special. There's not going to be that many of them out there. I like bold colors, things that don't look like other knives, and since it's relatively a small run, most people will not have these. This knife is still made by QSP, which made the Stumpfish, and is working on a newer design from me as well, something small with an easier pull. I'm done with the strong pull knives after this. They are what they are. So the colors, now with the covers, you don't call them scales in traditional, we call them covers. My favorite in a traditional are smooth bone, since they are kind of all unique. The bone takes the die in different ways. So we did run one in bone this time, but I wanted unique patterns for all the covers, so we went with natural materials that mimic that. So snakewood for the guys who like the safer muted colors. There was nothing in micarta that I'd really like this time, so this is kind of the version of the micarta, the safer choice for some of the people who don't like loud knives. The micarta was the slowest seller on the Stumpfish. Good news though is those are still available, and the Stumpfish as a whole is probably done forever. So get the last few while you can. Speaking of purple, we went with the purple here, which kind of matched the Stumpfish covers. Now again, there is variations of the dye, so I can't promise your Stumpfish and your Stumplifter are going to match exactly, but I have a pretty good match here, and the ones they sent me here are production runs, so I assume that these are representative of the full run, because I think all the knives arrived about the same time, and they're fixing the box because they did the box. It said Stumpfish on it, so they went ahead and ran these to get them done a little faster without me having to ask them to send me like 20 knives back and forth this time, since they already had made it before. And finally, the last option not available on the first run is abalone, which looks amazing. I was a little nervous that it was going to be too silvery and it was going to kind of match the covers and there was not going to be a lot of depth to it. It was kind of be a silver knife, but that's not how it looks here. There's a significant amount of blue and it all has a cool 3D look. Love them. I mean, I like the purple, but is this my favorite? It could be my favorite. I assume this is going to be the fast seller. Now, the pull on these is stronger than the first run. The original prototypes, which I still have, and I think I gave my brother one of them. I think I have a total of 4 prototypes, and one of them, I don't remember which one I gave him. I think I gave him a yellow. The original prototypes were a pretty strong pull, and this is close to that. So this is going to be a touch stronger than the first run. I think the pull scale is subjective. However, let's take, for example, the GEC 23. You're like, I don't have it. Well, let's say that's an 8, the high end of a comfortable pull for me. Original run of the Stumplifter that you guys had is a 6. This new run is probably a 7. So plan accordingly. Make sure you have some nail supplements. Now, again, I'm sure that there was a variation in the pull, but the 3 here all have a pretty consistent pull. Like I said, I think there's a range of pull, but taking the original Stumplifter, the productions I received, and this run too, the pulls on the first 3 are consistent, the pulls on this 3 are consistent, so I think it's representative of the pull on the Stumplifter product line. And I understand it is outside the comfort range of some people, but it is a good strong spring with a half stop. I think I have one more knife design in me, which is a lighter pull. I've already designed it. QSP's working on it. And while I don't have much of a problem with the strong pole knife, I did gift my mom a Stumpfish, who she's 70 and almost 70, and she had a hard time opening it, and I thought that was an easier pole than the Stumplifter, so I gave her something she couldn't use. The next knife though is a lighter pole, as I did see a couple people say, the Stumpfish is a hard pole, so this didn't improve it for those people. But I guess if you want a light pole, this is not your knife. Anyway, the new smaller run of the Stumpfish is kind of predicated on no big design changes, and to be honest, I think it's about perfect, so it's almost the same knife. I carry mine almost every day, and I love the new colors, and I hope you do too. Also, remember to pick up your slip over at FP Leatherworks. The link will be below the video. Everyone who bought theirs last time loved it, and Matt will have a few options available. Here's a few shots of the slips that we had before. And the release date, these are going to be released very soon. I got invited to collab on a reel, and I learned that Tuesday, April 21st is the release date at 10 a.m. MDT, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Now, if I get this done before that date, it's giving me about a week to finish this video. Head over to Blade HQ right now and sign up for alerts, because the listings are now up. They're going to go live on Blade HQ only. And if the past few years is any indication, many are not resold. So this will about be your only chance to get them. I think maybe 5 or 10 I saw pop up over the past couple years. Anyway, hope you like it as much as I do. Say hi to the patrons. They're saying hi right back. Like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching.